day, everyone. I'm Sarah Didevilla from Grade 10 SSC, and this is my argumentative speech entitled Privacy Issue in Learning, Who's the Better One? Education is a vital element of our lives, and no one can deny its significance nowadays age. People should continue to learn regardless of what happens. Now, the question is, do you prefer face-to-face classes or online education? This subject has been hotly contested by a year. People are perplexed when it comes to deciding on a mode of education. But I believe that face-to-face education is the greatest option because the efficiency of online education is yet unknown and people do not prefer it. The majority of things can only be learned through face-to-face educations since only face-to-face educations make practical sense. Communication between the sender and the recipients is only the communication available in the face-to-face education. Until online education was introduced, face-to-face education was the only way to learn for 1,000 years. It is true, online education is now widely available in educational programs, but technology does not always allow the communication or sharing of the correct sort or high-quality information. As a result, learning potential may be restricted. The best sort of education is face-to-face instructions. It is difficult for learners to ignore the instructors in group learning. And even if they do not listen to the lecture, they can learn something from the group. Interaction is the most important aspect of the face-to-face education. And socialism is also on the rise. Students acquire confidence to offer their thoughts openly while learning in groups. Answers to the questions of the students are also gained at the time of a group discussion. In the year 1999, an empirical investigation was conducted. Face-to-face education was compared against online education in this study. The paper was titled Comparative Analysis of Online versus Face-to-Face Instruction, and it was presented at a conference on the internet and the WWW. The contrast between online and face-to-face learning was demonstrated in the case study. It was proven that face-to-face learning is very successful and the students can learn more quickly and never forget what they learned from the face-to-face education. People's lives have grown extremely chaotic, but we cannot neglect education because it is critical for survival in this technological age. The process of learning entails making mistakes and then learning from them. One cannot learn without making mistakes and asking questions. Learning online just provides you with the instructor's email address, but this email address cannot replace the real-time dialogue that occurs when you are in the group settings. Face-to-face teachings allow students to immediately clear up any misunderstandings they may have about the topic, and face-to-face education entails procedures that help students to learn more quickly and receive immediate feedbacks on the progress. Online education is the mode of education that is in demand in our period, although it is not considered as good as face-to-face education owing the absence of interactions. Only through increasing the connection and interaction to the level of face-to-face education to boost the amount of contact, pre-internet should be available everywhere. Online education, on the other hand, limits opportunity for social and academic engagement and interaction. Online education does not give enough support for students. Students in face-to-face have classmates, school buddies, and teachers who aid them and help them to learn. Online education can be more difficult and the time-consuming for teachers. It also quite relationally unsatisfying and impersonal. However, when a teacher in this class to face-to-face education becomes more interactive and the teachers enjoy themselves in that environment. Nonverbal means of communication, relationship development, and contact may appear insignificant in the learning process, but they are quite effective. In May 2012, report titled Barriers to Adaptation of Online Learning System in the Higher Education. The corporation raised several worries regarding distance learning and one of which was students' integrity. Cheating continues to be an issue in both online and face-to-face education. While faculty have developed strategies for dealing with cheating in traditional settings, they are still working on protocols to deal with the problems in online settings, where a common issue is simplify verifying that the person at the keyboard is the actual students registered for an online course. Finally, I'd like to point out that while all modes of education had advantages and disadvantages, face-to-face education is the most trustworthy and superior mode of instruction. Face-to-face education allows pupils to benefit from the social benefit of the social interaction with the people from backgrounds and culture. Face-to-face education and group learning are the greatest types of high-quality education. This is the traditional method of instructions with a practical application. Other methods of education can compare to the quality of online learning. There are benefits of face-to-face schooling and have been explored, and these benefits cannot be dismissed no matter what. How quickly this era moves, people devote their time to group educations. Online educations and online educations degrees are worthless.